This is by Paulie Walnuts. I haven't seen one of his videos in a while, but I do love watching his content. He is funny. I like Paulie. Why am I not subscribed to Paulie Walnuts? That's weird. 20s then versus 20s now. Just so y'all know, I am 20. I turned 21 in like 3 months. I know. I can't wait. I'm excited as well. The first thing I'm doing is practicing my Second Amendment right. Yes, I know. It's exciting. Yes, I'm very excited too. I've literally I have this shit planned out. I know what I'm getting. I know what I want. I'm not gonna get into it because then people are gonna be like, "Oh well, you're gonna get this. Oh well, of course you're gonna get this." Shut up. I can't wait either, bro. You're saying it's like we're gonna go on two mans. You live in New York.
If you're in your 20s right now and you really want to feel like a chud, ask your dad or maybe your grandpa where they were at in life when they were your age. It's a quick way to feel behind. That's when you hear the, I was married.
I mean, looking back on it, I don't know when my dad's not from here. He he moved to the US in like fucking 2000 before I was even born and shit. But I'm pretty sure it was 2000. Maybe it was earlier, maybe it was later. I'm not too sure. But I mean, looking on how he lived his life and how I'm living mine, honestly, I'm taking my life any day of the fucking week, bro. I'm 20 years old, still living at home and shit, eating up all the food, sitting on the game. Nah, I'm playing. I have a job. I'm in college. I'm studying for STEM. I'm not gonna say my actual degree because I'm not actually in the coursework yet or shit, whatever. When you look at people who migrate to the US and shit, you can't necessarily compare your life in the current state to their life then, because you didn't truly live in the moment and you didn't live through the shit they had to go through and whatever and whatnot. Every generation lives better than the next. In terms of how I would compare my life to others, the only thing I've compared my life to currently that I can say that I'm jealous of people is the people who don't have to work a job and be in college. You can choose either one or the other. You can either be living at home, you could be in a university paid for by your parents. I'm lucky in a sense, my schooling is covered by financial aid. Thank God. I'm in community college, but it's definitely one of those things where if your parents can pay for you to go to college, you don't need financial aid. That is a huge flex.
When I was your age, buddy. Meanwhile, I'm like,
oh, I hope they don't delay GTA 6 again.
I don't know, man. Seriously, I'm about to turn 26. Another step
closer
my gosh. To the big 3-0. And I want to talk about what it's like to be in your 20s right now versus what it was like back in the day. And
being in your 20s right now fucking sucks. My nigga. Oh my gosh. Last year, now I get it. I had my credit history for a year, so that's why it wasn't, the best. I've never had a bad, I've never missed a payment on my credit card. I've never missed a payment. My credit score compared to most people are going to be like all the other people be like, wow, you're really responsible for your age, young man. That kind of crazy. So why in the fuck, when I try to go and finance a car in my name, I go and check to see what I'm auto approved for by my I was using Capital One. Yo, the interest rate was fucking crazy. I think they were asking I want to say 15 to 18%. Now, my score wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was good to very good. But for me to get 15 to 18% interest is fucking crazy. And I know right now the national average is 6 or 7. Shut the fuck up. I got 8% because I co-signed with my mom. That's insane. And just the price of the car in general. I got a 2018 Accord. I ended up getting I think it was 25 total after taxes and everything. I bought the car at 82,000 miles. It was pretty good, not that much damage. It was a clean title. Yeah, clean title. I got it from an actual dealership. Looking at the interest rate, if what it would have been without me getting a cosigner, oh my gosh, that shit's fucking insane.
I'm not just gonna complain in this video. Maybe there'll be a little bit of complaining.
No, you're more than welcome to complain.
It's important to acknowledge how different shit is right now, whether that's with money, dating, business opportunities, having
Literally
kids.
every part of your life is fucked. Bro, literally, I could spend, bro, I'm gonna spend 20 minutes of this damn video before the video even reaches 20 minutes of me complaining about how shitty life is right now. Cause it's really that bad. But we're gonna let him explain it first.
A lot of people, and myself included, are comparing their progress to the generations before us, completely ignoring the fact that we live in a different world, a different universe. If
That's
you had
true.
a shitty job in your 20s back then, it sucked. Like, let's be real. The concept of a soul-sucking job is not a new struggle unique to our generation. What's unique now is the lack of reward for selling your soul to a shitty job or to a corporation. Because back in the day, you talk to a boomer, they'll tell you it didn't matter how much that 9 to 5 sucked because you were providing. It's like, okay, you knew your job didn't have a purpose, but you did. A lot of people
Niggas could work at 7-Eleven and afford an apartment. I work at 7-Eleven now and I'll still be living with my parents.
in their 20s back then already had the crib, already had the wife, the kids. You came back from work and there's a big ass tomahawk steak waiting for you. You know what I mean? And I don't have to tell you guys this, but wages haven't gone up in what feels like since then.
No, wages have gone up. It's just that the difference between inflation, the amount that you get paid, is so differentiated that it doesn't feel like enough because it literally isn't. Why in the fuck right now in 2026 in Florida, the national minimum wage is $15, but niggas are still getting paid. Niggas are still getting paid fucking 12 to 13 if you're not getting tipped. And then you got people working in tip-based jobs getting paid even less than that. What? That is nuts. Why is that even a thing? Like, you're telling me, like I get it. Obviously, if a job takes more qualifications, it takes more time to get it, it's gonna, you're gonna get paid more. But I think niggas should at least be able to get paid enough to live. Like, we don't live in a time now where dad can go to work for fucking 8 hours a day while mom sits at home, cooks, clean, takes care of the kids, do this and does all the housework, and then you can live steadily on a stable income and go on vacation twice a year. Have a good one, Brock. Have a good night. You're catching me in a spiral right now. I'm gonna fucking spiral because this is something that's very serious. The modern world right now is not a reflection of the world back then. All right. And yes, wages have gone up. Yes, women working more are going to make wages go up. Yes, that still does not excuse people not getting paid enough to fucking live.
It's like the fucking 80s. So now you come home from the same
Oh man, I'm gonna
job
like
where you're trading.
I'm gonna like pop a new nerve in my head.
Time of your life, you'll never be younger than you are today. That quote keeps me up at night. Except you get home, no tomahawk steak. Now it's like,
Ma, is there any leftovers?
is there any dinner tonight, Mom? The major.
It really be like that, bro. It really do. But like, I'm early in my 20s though, so it's different, of course. When I was in high school, I envisioned myself in a different city right now. I probably would have been in a dorm, but like, but now looking at myself 2 years after having that thought, and I'm like, damn, I got another fucking year before I get my AA because I wanted to work a job so that way I couldn't be broke and I could have a car. Oh my gosh, this shit is torture. Like, literally everything full circles back into me hating. This is gonna be I'm gonna put a disclaimer at the beginning of the video that this video is gonna be very fucking negative because it just is. And I'm allowed to spiral because this is my video.
Incentive for trading away your
Not this video is my video, but me talking about this. This is me pouring out my actual thoughts.
best years for a future where you don't have to worry about money is a low-key gone. And this is the system this country basically runs on, was basically built on, and now it's starting to fall.
Not gonna lie, I would have been broke then take another year. No. You know what? That's fair though. I give props to any nigga who can take 4 to 5 classes after the age of 17 and willingly go through that and excel. That shit takes fucking guts compared to going to literally going to a job, a nigga tells you what to do, you shut your brain off, and you only respond in a way that you were tailored to, be paid the way they pay you to respond. That's easy as fuck. Trying to cram 4 to 5 classes into your head, even the ones that you don't care about but you have to take because they fit some sort of random ass requirement, some old nigga from 1952 design when they were making the school system. No, I can't. I hate school, but I don't hate it enough to where I would quit and think of something else to make money. Well, we're obviously right now, like, I'm streaming and shit, but like, let's being realistic. If this shit don't blow up, bro, I'm not going to the dark side. All right, I'm gonna make sure I got a degree in my pocket to save me.
Apart because people in their 20s are realizing like, oh shit, I can trade away my whole life and still be poor, still have nothing to show
No,
for it.
yeah, that's insane.
So it's almost like if I'm going to be poor either way, I might as well chill for a little bit. I might as well enjoy the sun, get some UVs before I croak.
I could see.
I remember
Honestly, in another world, I could never be unemployed just because of how much I care about money. Like, since I've been old enough to work, I worked. Like, and like, I remember like when I turned 16, I was begging my mom, yo, let me get a fucking job. Y'all niggas are not gonna pay for my shit just because, like the shit that I wanted in high school, like it was stuff, obviously, like it's extracurricular, but it's high school defining things. It's, say like I want to go out on Friday night. You don't want to give me $20. Now I can't go and have fun with my friends. You feel me? Having money in general is such an opener, and being able to access more money at a young age. Oh my gosh. And I wasn't making that much too. I don't know why my nose sounds really hold on. Yo, how long have I been sounding like this? This is actually bad. No, because if I've been like talking like this the entire time, oh my gosh, I sound. If you ever catch a cold, no bullshit, get you some Vicks Puffs plus lotion. This shit is gonna open up your nostril.
we're talking to this guy who is one of the top dogs at my company that I used to work at, and he told me that he hates his job. And I looked at all these older dudes at my company because when you're at the bottom, that's what you do. You look up for role models. You look up to see where you're gonna end up. And I'd be looking at these dudes who keep in mind were like in their 40s and 50s. And these are the guys who basically got the last chopper out of Nam. And what I mean by that, it's like in terms of actually being able to financially support the quote American dream with like your standard corporate job. The guys who put their heads down.
The corporate setting too, it's very depressing. I had an internship one time at this engineering facility, and it was even emptier because of like, at the time one of their a lot of their buildings, they weren't as full because they were like, they were still adjusting to after COVID. Some people are still working at home, but like when you're in a cubicle, it's the most robotic thing you can ever do. Like, imagine you're in a building with a bunch of people who are just staring at a computer, typing or just doing whatever they're doing. That's some zombie ass robot shit. Like, obviously they're doing something, but it's like when you see that from like a bird's eye view, that is very terrifying. That gives off Matrix simulation vibes. But in a sense, I can see why some people enjoy it. Like, you're in your own little space. You don't have somebody who's eyeing you all the time. You don't have to deal with a customer or, having to keep your eye out for things. Like, you're in your own bubble and it's calm. And I loved that. I didn't like how quiet it was though. That's the only thing. But it's definitely something that if you look at it and you don't just look at it, you're gonna how do I put this? You're gonna view working a job completely different, and like how you view like just humans in the workspace.
And climb the ladder for the company. Hoorah! Put my head down and grinded. But I'm looking at these guys, and I mean, one of them basically told me not to do what he did because it won't be worth it. So shout out to him, honestly. But I'm looking at these guys. I remember thinking like, I don't want to be you, bro. Like, not even on some egotistical, you know, like I'm better than you. It's just like, no, I don't want to live out my life in this air conditioned, fluorescently lit jail cell. Cause it's not like it gets me anything.
It's literally torture. You know, you give 40 to no, you give 30 to 50. Yeah, no, you give you give like 40 to 50 years of your life to a company just for them to, you know, just to be able to no. You spend 40 to you spend 40 to 50 years of your life working just so you can have enough money to, excuse me. They don't want me to say this. Oh my gosh. You spend 40 to 50 years of your life working just so you don't have to work again for the rest of your life. And then it's like the part of your life that you get to enjoy. You're not even at your healthiest. You're not at your brightest. You might have some back problems, some knee problems, some fucking finger problems and shit. Like, you can't even live life to the best of your ability because the best of your ability was already given to that job. And that's just for general working. The people who do blue collar, even fucking worse. Yo, them people, yo, any nigga working in an oil rig, bro, I will never complain in my life about how hard my life is. You willingly chose that shit, circumstance or not, bro. Nah, you got it, buddy. You got
Anyway,
that.
we're in this weird place now where I almost feel, me personally, I almost feel more ahead now without a job than I did when I had my corporate job. And I understand how crazy that sounds, especially because, you know, I have lost a ton of certainty in a way. Like, I don't have health insurance. You want to talk about uncertainty? An AI bot could wipe out my YouTube channel tomorrow.
Wait. Oh, that's the one thing I thought about. Yo, when you're big enough, like obviously like people have insurance, but it's like, how do they get their insurance? Do they just know a guy who connects them with like a plan, or like are they genuinely just like, fuck it, man, I got enough money, I never need insurance? 'Cause I think some people they'll go in contact with insurance companies and like get their own insurance for like health, dental. I think you can't. Yeah, that's literally something you can do. It's just what most people, they just get it through work because it's easier. Damn. And I don't think he's not a small creator either. He has like, what is it, like 100K? He has, I want to say, if he's making videos consistent enough, he can definitely make enough money to where he can be fine health wise, as long as he stays in like somewhat of a healthy state and like, you know, goes to the doctor. I want to say like, if you go twice a year, it'd be better.
And that would be that. But it's like, at least I don't feel incarcerated anymore. You know what I mean? Because you think about it, it's like in 1965, like I probably would have been like, you know what, I will trade away my life so I can, you know, come home to my little crib, my little
It's
family,
all propaganda.
You know, little Paulie's running around in the backyard.
It's all propaganda.
And now it's like,
Bro,
I won't be able
literally everything is propaganda. The American dream, fucking ganda. Now, even if it was achievable in like the earlier stages and whatnot, it's still propaganda at the end of the day. And it's become something that, you know, people are seeing like, yo, I genuinely can't achieve this. Why are you telling me if I do this, this, and this, I'll get this result? But this result has been modified now. There's a new variable that's been added, so now I can't even achieve that original result. So that scared me for a second. I thought I dropped something important, but no, yeah. I can't find working useful in this day and age unless it's something you genuinely enjoy. If you get put on this earth after 2025, bro, you got fucked. You got fucked. Like when I say you got fucked, I mean you got. Let me stop.
achieve that anyway. So what's the point? And so the question becomes like, is this realization that a lot of people are having, is this a good thing that our generation is waking up to this?
And that's not to say you can't make it out though. It's just significantly harder.
Life away for nothing, or is it a bad thing? But that's another video. Let's keep it pushing. I said Little Paulie, and that kind of reminds me of my next point. if you look back a generation or two, you're in your 20s, you're already pumping out babies. And I'm about to be 26, and nobody
No,
I
that's actually
know.
scary as fuck, bro. I could. What the fuck? Yo, Black Lung Morgan. I'm watching a YouTube video. We not doing music reactions. Wait, that's Lil Yachty though. I might listen to that after this video. What was I gonna say? Fuck. Let me rewind the video really quickly.
Pumping out babies. And
Oh, when I watched the video about people back then like becoming 22, joining the workforce and whatever, and having a family and all that, that shit's scary as fuck. Cause I'm damn near close to that. And I ain't got a pot to fucking piss in, bro. No. Having my whole life together by 22 is fucking crazy. Whenever I see somebody my age get married, I'm just like, yo, you got a lot of life to live. And that's not to say you can't find your, your your um your I want to say your soulmate like early on, but like there is so much in your life that you're going to go through. And I'm saying this when I haven't even gone through shit. Like I'm probably going to go through way worse than whatever I've been through already. And it's going to change me in a significant way. So like me personally, I don't see myself like truly getting into like a life defining relationship until I'm like 26. I say 26, I get into a relationship. 29, I tie the knot and have kids. If not, I become a bum on the internet who's always trying to get viral, and I always fall off when I get a little bit of traction. And by a little bit of traction, I mean like I get like 20 viewers a stream. let me stop. Let me stop. If not, we go on a 2-man. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I can't do 2-mans, man. Like, if it's like, oh, we meet up together, then split off, cool. But like the entire time, I don't know. I'm more of a one-on-one kind of guy. You feel me? Then again, I've never been on a 2-man. And not that I'm looking for one.
and I'm about to be 26, and nobody I know my age has had kids yet. And me personally, it's like no.
Also, kids are a huge fucking financial burden now. Unless you genuinely want kids, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh shot, am I ready to have a kid right now? It's like my brain I feel like my brain just finished developing a few months ago. And this goes back to kind of what I was just talking about. It's like nobody I know my age is truly financially situated enough to have a kid. Like these little boogers are super expensive. And I want to have a kid, bro. I'm not one of these heads that's like, oh, I don't want to bring a child into this terrible world. Like,
I've come to terms with the fact that there's a very high chance that I won't have kids. Just because of how expensive that shit is. And yeah, I would hate to have to dedicate my personal life. How selfish this is. This is my fucking life. Dedicate my entire life to, this, a kid. And yeah, and then it sucks the life out of me. Like anything I enjoy, if I'm in a state where I don't have enough money to take care of a kid and I have a kid, I am literally going to be spending my entire life trying to become stable, and I will not become stable until that little nigga becomes stable, because that little nigga will be forced to take care of me because of how broke I was. I'm not having no fucking kids. And that's just an extra headache for me. I want kids when I'm ready for kids, and I'm not ready for kids until I have enough money to provide for kids.
the social climate is horrendous.
I probably sound depressing as hell talking about this, but I mean, it's kind of therapeutic in a way.
I don't want to bring suffering into the world. It's like, dude, I don't think that way. I got pumped out. I pulled up right before 9/11. There will never be a perfect time to bring a kid into the world, and there never was.
No, that's true. But though, you're asking for a lot if you do it, which is the issue. Is that I'm not gonna say you should never be expecting a return on your investment. But what I mean is that like you gotta make sure that little nigga's life is definitely better than yours. and that he has some kind of benefit that he didn't have to learn on his own. It could be anything like, credit, how to get a house, actually helping him get a house, just covering anything. Honestly, anything that he's going to have to do after the age of 18 that you no longer have to see over, you should be teaching them how to do that. Or if it's so advanced now to a way that even it's more than you can understand, at least let them know about it.
Like, I'm trying to have a kid. I just can't have little bro getting raised in squalor. So it's not gonna happen now. The 20s right now, it's not looking like it's gonna happen anytime soon. Obviously, to have a kid, you have to have a solid relationship. I mean, you don't have to, right? But you should. That's the goal. So naturally, we got to talk about dating in your 20s now versus dating then.
I got no roster. I don't think I need to explain any further.
And I mean, to be honest with you guys, I've talked about this a lot, and I'm not trying to beat a dead horse with this one. Saying dating is different then compared to now is like the craziest understatement. Shit is upside down.
No roster? Yeah, no roster.
The high school sweetheart shit, it's like it just doesn't, you don't see it as much anymore. I don't want to get too into this. I do have a potentially hot take here because the idea of the high school sweetheart, the picket fence, the tomahawk steak, I don't know why that's what I think of, but it's like the one and true love. You guys met at 18 and by 23 you have 2 kids.
Well, yeah, obviously dating is different now than it was before then. A lot of people now have different mindsets when it comes to dating, and obviously the stipulations behind dating itself already has been modified, and there is a lot of cards being put into play, a lot of cards that affect all of us. Many cards from the dark the dark horse and shit.
Sounds nice, but I do feel like we need to be honest with ourselves. It's like I've talked so much about dating apps and the awful impact they've had on both men and women because it's obvious, right? It's so easy to point out the external changes and causes, but I think when I think about now versus then, I want to talk about the internal. Is my modern brain as a 26-year-old even ready for the kind of relationship that I always fantasize about?
Nope.
I think a lot of us, like the idea of a relationship.
I'll be flat out honest. Hell no. Hell. I got a lot of shit to think about, and I'm always thinking about shit. So it's like, for me, like I would have to be at a point in my life now where like literally I have everything set in stone, which won't happen for a long time. I have a lot of stuff that I need to do. So you don't like, no, it's not that I don't like relationships. It's just, I see it as something that is not the best decision to make.
But it's like, are you actually ready for the serious one? You got to remember, back in the day, they didn't have dating apps. They didn't have Instagram baddies. Like,
no, them niggas were just overly freaked out, and there weren't too many stakes at play as well too. Niggas back then, bro, literally, niggas back then, you pull up to somebody's house, hey, I have this pig and I want your daughter. That was it. Oh, of course it was more than that, but like that was it. You weren't pressed by society. You didn't have to go through certain customs. Well, they did have some sort of customs, but it wasn't as customs that were like very like much as like pressurized more by society as well. It's obviously like you can go into this in so many different ways and it'll just all mean the same thing, and you're never going to be wrong for mentioning it because it's literally the main point.
This is something I put a lot of energy.
They should do that now. Oh no, imagine that you're on social media and you see fucking Travis Kelce propose to his wife with a picture of the dad in the background with a new fucking pig. No, that'd be so weird.
On for myself, cleansing my brain from the novelty and the more and more new poisonous mindset it has adapted. It's like I tell heads to stop gooning and they look at me crazy, but it's like, bro, what happens if the dream girl, the one that if this was 1965, you would have married her, had kids with her, but your dumbass is so addicted to novelty that you let her go for the excitement of some like Insta treesh.
Yo, I will never
shouldn't say
understand that. Niggas who will give up coochie for a digital screen, never understood that. I'm always taking the real thing. 100%.
But again, it's just so easy to point at external shit, and for a good reason. I mean, dating apps, Instagram, these things have done nasty, nasty work to us. But I don't know. I feel like in my 20s is where I'm really trying to fix the internal impact that all this shit has had on me. Yeah, that growing up with all these things has had on me. Accountability maxing. Because shit, a few years ago, man, like when I wasn't aware of any of this, I finally got a good one. But all of a sudden, she's FaceTiming me all the time. I got to do all this shit. I'm not really trying to go out with her friends and her family and shit. And I was like, I'm off this, and I let her go for someone I probably shouldn't have let her go for, because it's like the novelty thing. It had me in a chokehold, and what it boils down is effort and doing shit you don't want to do. And I think a lot of people, without even realizing it, are not ready for that. And it's crazy to think, like, when you were in your 20s back then, none of this was a problem. There was none of this the temptation for more. Like back then it was like, wow, you cheated on your wife with a secretary, you scumbag. And now it's like,
no,
there's
it's
a
very much like that
generation-
now. It's just like now people are more and more trying to normalize it and shit. You see that in a lot of films too. Oh my god, that nigga Tyler Perry can eat a Frank, bro. Dark skinned woman evil, light skinned woman better. Light skinned woman gets with man hates on dark skinned woman. Dark skinned woman goes away new. Light skinned woman happy forever after. Or it could be a light skinned man too. Oh my god.
mental cheating that's always going on in the background. Is lying to you, telling you that there's more around the corner. The whole time, nothing's actually there. And this brings me to another huge difference between being in your 20s now versus being in your 20s back then. It is undeniably easier to lose the plot now. Lose what
Oh, yeah, of
actually
course.
matters in life. You can simulate life now.
You can literally do whatever you want now, bro. We have become so advanced in society that literally you can basically become anything and be well off from it. You got niggas, bro. You got niggas who go around harassing people for fun and they're making money off of it. You have people who are selling other people and making money off of it. That's as far as I'm going to explain it, because it can go in so many different ways just off of that sentence. You got niggas who are exploiting children to work in fucking harsh conditions. Like, yo, oh my god. I lost the plot though. I'm always going off to the fucking deep end. But no, but what I mean is that, like, with social media makes it so that literally you can have any kind of occupation in the world or some kind of interest, and if there's an audience for it, you're gonna make money, you're gonna be famous, and you're not gonna have to work a 9-to-5 for the rest of your life. But I mean, even then, even without the social media side, you can still become that in so many other fields as well. So it's like there's always it's the same plot, but in like a different fucking story.
You start getting your sense of validation from Instagram, your sense of
good,
accomplishment
Graham?
from video games. You can get your rocks off on the hub.
Gorner games are the bane of everybody's existence, bro. Why am I playing Marvel Rivals and they're showing Emma Frost in a way that would make a Victorian child like hump her leg? We have lost the plot.
Box off is crazy. I don't know where that just came from. Maybe I'm the boomer. But you can simulate all aspects of life now in a way that you could not back in the day. You can trick your brain into thinking all its needs are getting met. And this is why I get surprised when people don't understand like why so many dudes have just tapped out of life, of society. It's because they can. It's because it's an option. Like there are
Oh yeah, being a chud is the best thing in the world, bro. Like like niggas be making fun of people who dead ass live in their mom's basement and shit and do all this weird shit and whatever and da 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 da. Their lives are so much happier compared to you because they just enjoy what they have. Now, that's not to go into their character and how they treat the others around them and whatnot. It's just more of, are they satisfied with their own bubble of life? More than likely, they're more than happier than anybody who's trying to somewhat better their life in somewhat way, just because of how shitty it is. I could never do it though. I couldn't.
So many guys out there who genuinely don't do anything. Like, have you ever met somebody who does nothing? No hobbies, no goals, no bitches, just like straight up nothing. This was.
I felt like he ripped that from that one Tony quote.
You had to do something. And we're getting to this point now where doing nothing is almost like encouraged. So
the idea of doing nothing is reinforced by people who all do the same thing. If everybody watches TV, everybody games, everybody listens to music, everybody watches YouTube, everybody has a phone. So a lot of the things that are very, 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 very common, they're just going to seem like everyday things that everybody does. But when in reality, it's just like people look at their surface level interests, but they never look at the things that like they're watching. Like, say, for example, I'm always me as a person, I'm always doom scrolling on TikTok, right? And I'm watching stuff about games, but I'm only watching certain types of games, right? There you go. That's a specific niche. So now, how do you go into that? You could be like, oh, I started like looking more and more into, this category of games, some of the companies behind it, Like you can go deeper into it. It's just that people don't really they just keep it kind of like surface level because it's, it's enough. That's all.
Got to be really aware of that in your 20s. And speaking of that, what about business opportunities, man?
Hold on. How important is GTA 6? I bought it for my brother and he got excited like I gave him $1 million. Because you did. You literally just gave him $1 million you basically just gave him $1 million. That's gotta be rage bait. Like, everybody knows how important GTA 6 is. Like, as unhype as I am for the game, I know how important GTA 6 is, and I am playing that shit the day that shit fucking drops. Bro, I don't think you understand what niggas would do for GTA 6. Like, the joke about getting with an old sugar mama to be able to afford for shit, niggas would genuinely do that for GTA 6. It is that serious. This shit is expensive, $100. Oh yes. Oh yes, it is nothing to... Listen, a nigga will tell you to buy them 2K every single year, but you cannot deny if a nigga asks you to buy him GTA 6. That's how important that is.
American dream. You think of your 20s, if there's one age demographic historically where you start a business, you come up with an idea and you start some shit, it's going to be in your 20s. I might have a hot take here again. I still think it's possible to start a successful business now, just like it was back then. But listen, there is a huge, important difference. Today, you really, really, really need to be thinking outside of the box.
Outside of the box, and you got to be really good at marketing. Marketing is the number one driver of everything. If you suck at marketing, especially on social media, your business is going to flop because a lot of attention and traffic that you get is going to come from social media. Any nigga who has a successful business right now, in some way, shape, or form, are siphoning the audience that they're getting from social media to fuel their company, brand, whatever. And that's not to say they're doing it in an evil way. It's just, that's just how it works. So niggas could either be getting paid because their business is really successful, or social media is just paying them a shit ton. And they keep their occupation just because, hey, I can't be the brand without the job. So me personally, I've thought about the idea of like having a business. I've never thought of something that I can think of that I can either remarket or create something new that I know for a fact people will buy. Maybe in like fucking 3 years I'll have an epiphany on a product, but right now, man, yeah, I got nothing.
Back in the day, bro, I feel like you just threw up a sign like, yeah, I'm selling chairs over here now. I'm mowing lawns over here now. And you just start making bread because there was so much demand and there was no one supplying anything. Like, before the internet, dude, selling shit must have been so fun and easy. You had millionaires selling some bullshit, like fucking knickknacks, dog food and shit. And this is why it's kind of rage bait when a
Well, no, yeah. Well, the thing with marketing back then as well too, the forms, the way you would get your product known had a way bigger paywall than you thought, or like, or just a door in general. Like for a nigga back then to get a product to be promoted without the internet and social media, you had to know somebody who knew somebody who would then talk to somebody to get you to talk to somebody else, which and then you get in contact with them and promote your product. And then if they liked it, yeah, they would throw money at it. But it would have to be something that they actually seen as useful and it would help. Right now, niggas have made so much shit that like literally there's an item for literally everything. Anything you could ever want to do, if you want to do it easier, there's a product for it in some way, shape, or form. So now at this point, the best way to make a business is to rip off of somebody else and just call it your own. And that's not to say you can't do like original shit, but at that point, the only way for you to really become like a successful business is to be a shadow business. I think I want to say that made sense when it comes to like name recognition as well. It's like how recognizable is your name? That will boost literally anything. Niggas would not be rocking Air Jordans if they were not called Air Jordans. Well, they probably would be because of the design is cool, but like how much longer would it have taken for it to get recognizable if it wasn't made by Nike who created Air Jordans? You feel me? Like it's one of those kind of things. As compared to now, where now you could post some shit, say it goes viral on TikTok, boom, you're in. If you can keep that momentum. It's not just you go viral one time and you're a millionaire. No, you got to keep the momentum going.
Boomer tries to little bro you about how they started their company or their successful business. It's like, bro, your shitty little business would not have worked if Amazon was around back then. But, and this is a big but, with the internet, obviously, has come a ton of opportunities. Internet money is crazy because there's really no roof on this internet shit, and a lot of times there's no expenses either. But what you have to be now is creative, like extremely creative, because there's no barrier to entry. So anytime you come up with an idea, the chances that it hasn't been tried 1,000 times yet are getting smaller and smaller.
No, yeah, that's what I've noticed too in like the creation space. A lot of the things that you see now, they're rinse and repeats of things that have already gone viral because a lot of the ideas have already been tried. Bro, literally the IRL space has dwindled so much, especially after Kai took a break. But like before like announcing the whole streamer you thing, like that nigga literally did everything. Literally. So now it's like it's more of when you're watching somebody, you're watching somebody to see how they would react in the same situation that somebody had already done. It could be different for YouTube. So there's obviously creators that do their own original thing, which I'm literally watching a video about somebody talking about somebody in their 20s now, or somebody in their 20s then versus their 20s now. But if you were to go on Twitch, like I said, and you would try to, become this IRL person, literally, I think, how many times have you seen somebody go to a certain restaurant? How many times have you seen somebody go to France? How many times have you seen somebody go to Japan? How many times have you seen somebody go to fucking Spain or some shit? Well, probably not Spain, but like, there's streamers as well in different parts of the world. So it's like you're already kind of seeing everything unless you're only banking on how they're going to react to it. It's really hard to come up with something original because literally everybody's done everything. That's why I stick to gaming, because I mean gaming is more lenient. Depending on what you do, you don't have to be too original. Hence why I'm fucking talking on a video and I'm not making one of my own. Gaming is more forgiving because you can fit into a certain like category, and if people rock with you, they rock with you. You can be the sweat that's good at every fucking game, or you can be the person who's just an entertaining person to watch. Or you can be somebody who more like, so I never watched Vanoss growing up, but I heard that what he would do, he was more of the director in the friend group, but like he would post the videos, whatever, he would conjuncture everything. Like he wasn't the person that you would watch in a sense. Like it was better watching the whole group entirely, but you weren't there for just like one person.
Opportunity is closing, and I feel like it's closing more and more every day, but it does exist. The problem is a lot of us are still using the boomer path. The path they use, thinking it's gonna work for us. And it's like, I got news for you, buddy. Take it from me. it's not gonna work. Like there's kids in college right now studying marketing. They're gonna graduate with a degree. I mean, the chances are they're not gonna be able to find a job, but maybe they get super lucky. All of a sudden, they get a marketing job, an advertising job. They're putting commercials on TV. Like, this is the path my dumb.
I mean, and also, I mean, success is subjective as well. Some people, they don't want to make $1 million fucking dollars a year. I don't want to make $1 million fucking dollars. That sounds like an annoying amount to me. I wouldn't mind it though. Money's money. No, yeah, you can't really say that though, because now you have the issue that people are having now, where people are complaining, oh, everybody wants to be a streamer. Yeah, everybody wants to be a fucking streamer. Who wants to work? Who wants to work and literally just be a slave with no mind at all? Having your creativity stripped is the worst thing ever in the world. And obviously there are jobs that are creative as well, hence why we have, you know, the entertainment business, media, you have people working in even tech. Literally the people who are designing your tech, not the little kids who are working for 3 pennies a day. I mean the people who are, you know, creating the ideas for the tech, figuring out how everything goes together before, you know, they're sending the little children to work. Fucked up, I know. Like those people are the real creatives. And then you have people who are working like customer service. Customer service is really the most, anything where the main point of your job is to talk to people. That shit is soul sucking. I hate customer service. Like I love talking to people. I hate customer service. You can be yourself depending on where you're at and what the conversation is, but more than likely you're giving the same script that you gave 20 other people like an hour. It's like for the past 2-3 hours you've been there before you go on break.
I found myself on. So just be careful of the boomer path, man. This is the path where modern success goes to die.
But I mean, also too, if you have too many people who are, you know, trying to follow their dreams, sadly, it'll fuck up the economy because then not a lot of people will work and blah, blah, blah. Oh my gosh. Yo, I'm genuinely gonna put a disclaimer in the beginning that like this is genuinely gonna be like a depressing. I'm gonna title this video like I hate being in my 20s. That's perfect. That's literally perfect. I hate being in my 20s.
And if you don't ask any questions, you will basically become an indentured servant following this path. But on the other hand of all of this, there are kids that are just saying, you know, fuck that noise and using the internet. It's super easy to be like, oh, like I have an idea, but it's probably been done. It's probably being done better by someone else. And so you never even try. And it's like,
oh no, that's different.
That's a big thing. I'm learning in my 20s because I didn't
totally
start
like that. I'm literally like that. When it comes to like content creation now, you're more than likely doing something somebody's already done, but it's like you can't, you know, not the way you do it's not going to be the same thing as somebody else who had done it before you did it. They might have done it better, but it's still your version of it. So I mean, it's not too bad to do it, but it gets to a point where, you know, you can't be ripping everything off of somebody else. Like a lot of what I'm seeing now are the people who, well, you know, right now the joke in itself is LARPing, but you're seeing all these like LARP clones of LARPaPly, fucking Joe Larpalozzi and you know all them people and shit. Like yeah, that's the joke right now, but like after that joke runs out, what's after that? You know, are you just gonna like just hop into the next like clone of something else, or are you gonna like, you know, there's nothing wrong with taking literally anything now with content creation. You're taking inspiration from something somebody's already done, and you're giving your version of it to the online space, which there's nothing wrong with. You're making a newer rendition of something somebody possibly has already done, only because we've advanced so far in this space that like there's really nothing, like there's nothing new. And what I think about a lot is what is going to be the next big thing. Like, you know, when you think about it, cable, you know, the radio was like the first to take over, and then you had television, right? And then you had live television, and now you have people literally like taking over that live television scene, and they're creating it not by something that's backed by a bunch of companies. This is like it could be a singular person or a group of people who are giving their authentic self or a version of themselves that they created to the internet. Like, what is going to be the next thing? Like, is it going to be some form of media like this, or is it going to be like, hey, we've actually seen enough, let's go back in time and like start appreciating the older shit? You feel me? I don't know. It's a lot of questions to be asked, and this video is long as fuck.
Oh shit, almost mid-20s. It's like just trying shit, dude. Don't just assume that your idea isn't gonna work. Like, at least try it and watch it fail, and then you can at least sleep at night knowing that that shit was a terrible idea. You know what I mean? Because there are kids starting from nothing, making it on the internet every single day.
I'm jealous.
Over and
I'm
over.
still poor.
You know, I met this kid the other day. Something I love about this channel is I've gotten to cross paths with some pretty sick people. And this kid started his own like clipping agency. So his customers pay him, and he then gives that money, goes into a pool with like an army of clippers who only get paid if the clips they make get a bunch of views. So they're incentivized to make quality clips.
This nigga literally just made a commission-based work environment. What the fuck? He's literally, that kid, smart as hell. He's gonna, that nigga's genuinely gonna have, I can see him having like a profitable business. What? He's already thinking like one of them money-hungry billionaires, bro. What? Yo, props to you, bro.
Just spam them all over the internet. This is smart. This is genius. Talk about marketing. It's like, this is the new marketing. And it's just this, it's an example of something that back in the day, when you're in your 20s, back in the day, you couldn't just be like, fucking education. I don't need a boss and connections. Now you can just be like, I'm going to do my own thing on the internet, or at least try. Like, I don't know. I've said this before. I feel like we're in this golden opportunity on the internet, but it's not going to last forever. Like, the window is closing every single day, but don't convince yourself that this doesn't apply to you, especially in your 20s. Like, just try it. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I have a course to sell you where, I can tell you exactly which path you're supposed to go down, because it's going to be different for everyone. Like, what are your interests, bro? I don't want to get too hung up on this. And it's obviously, it's way easier said than done. Like, you need to have some balls. You need to have a certain mindset, but it is happening every day. You don't have to be a slave.
I don't have balls
to the internet. You can be the guy who makes the internet his bitch. Just saying. The
internet literally bitched me up, bro. The internet literally bitched me up, bro. Look at my analytics.
Kind of example. My buddy from high school, he started this Instagram account selling flavored backwoods. Again, this is super weird, but they had just gotten banned. And I remember being like, bro, this is a weird, like, what are you doing right now?
That nigga's cooking. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I've smoked a backwoods. Not gonna lie to you. But this nigga's smart though, because he's probably thinking about how niggas were smoking with vapes and shit. He's talking about how, I'm not gonna lie, bro. This generation is so fucking smart. We're not putting our smart in the right places.
Makes no sense. And fast forward 2 months later.
Actually, I lied. Nigga, anything that's making you money and is original, go for it.
Later, he made so much money. He had all these connections with like the most famous rappers at the time. It showed me the power of the internet and what you can do at a young age, just starting from zero. Fast forward a couple months and we're all backstage at Rolling Loud 2019 with artist passes. And my boy, like this absolute chud, is literally on the stage throwing out backwoods to the crowd.
Obviously, that's
random example, but it's an example of where this internet shit can take you if you try it. Because that really is the main advantage that we have over these boomers, these millennials, is that's really it. Like, not to sugarcoat it, but they had a laundry list of better opportunities, better chances, but we do have the internet. So that's kind of why I'm focusing on that. I'm trying to utilize the internet, bro, because it's like not seeing any other viable options. I can't just.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think in every generation there's some form that is going to like be the like ticket to getting the new hot thing to be able to make money. Like at some point, like, you know, acting was, you know, the new thing to get into when, you know, when sports were, you know, more, I want to say more profited from. Like when niggas who got in early, niggas got in early and made fat money, bro. It's just you gotta recognize the trend, recognize the pattern, and find a way to stand out. You know, just do the thing the guy next to you did, because yeah, it's gonna suck being known as the guy who copies the guy next to him.
Start a fucking lawn mowing company or some shit. Like it's just like the way business is being conducted is so different now. It's easy to just complain about it, or you can try to get in on it. That's my mindset on it. Because your 20s, when you're in your 30s and you're in your 40s, every year that goes by, your opportunity to try and fail at things, that window becomes.
The only thing that I can say now after learning everything about the fucking Tate brothers and shit is Andrew Tate saying how he did not become wealthy until he was 30. That is probably the only thing I can say that kind of reassures me about my life. Is like, I don't have to become rich at this age. Like, as much as I would love to, and I'm going to strive for, obviously, it's like, you know, I have more time than I think, but I shouldn't let that idea get to my head. You know, I should obviously, you know, work with some urgency, because the faster I get some money, the faster, or the faster I don't have to be stressed out and shit. But it's like, you don't have to have your life fucking settled at even like fucking 25, 26. Because even then, it's like, when you hit that point of 25, 26, aren't you just going to be at that point where you're just like, all right, I have everything they told me to have. Now it's like, what do I want to have? You know, then you're going through another part of your life, or now you're discovering another part of yourself. And now you like literally every part of your life, you're going to be changing something, bro. So it's like, it's not the end of the world, but it's definitely something that is life determining. But you don't need it right now, depending on your situation. Of course, I got lucky. Obviously, I would consider myself luckier than some people, but you know, to each their own.
Just less and less. Just something I've been thinking about a lot recently. I feel like it's easy to be like, damn, we got cooked. This is unfair, man. But that doesn't really help. The reality is there are people, even in this shitty, you know, quote, awful reality that we live in, making it happen. The main reason I made this video is hopefully people see this and they feel less alone, or like less behind. It's so easy to feel behind, especially when you look at like your dad or your grandfather. And even if you're not comparing yourself to,
I guess my perspective is different, because I mean, for my situation, what I know, but I mean, like, I get what he's trying to say though. There's obviously, you know, the people who, you know, who lived a good life and had wealth, enough wealth to, you know, pass down to make the next person's life easier, or even just literally just pave their own life and make just everything easy. I get what he means by that. And, you know, not everybody's going to be, you know, fucking high, rich, successful, and, you know, wealthy and whatnot. But some people don't want that. I don't want that. I would hate that. Because for you to have that kind of money, bro, either you messing with kids or you messing with people. I don't want neither of that.
The 20s, like, it's no one warns you how behind you're going to feel, even if you're exactly where you need to be. So it's mad pressure. That's really what it is. It's pressure. It's like your whole world revolves around what you do in your 20s, or at least that's what it feels like. It's like for me at least, it's like I feel like I need to figure out everything today. And I look back on my early 20s, and it's crazy to say that. Like, I look back on my early 20s, like, fuck, I'm really getting old. But being lost and confused in my early 20s would be like the craziest understatement.
Let's go.
Why
how you doing?
All of a sudden found now. The truth is, nobody actually knows what they're doing, dude. Like, don't be like I was and assume that you're the only one that's freestyling, that's trying to figure shit out.
Man, I've been freeballing since I'm 17. No bull. I mean, nah, I want to say my life has definitely been a lot more structured. I've definitely made decisions that were different than what I want to say was kind of like predetermined by people who lived this life before me. Even now, it's like I've been more kind of like freer, and like I've been opening more parts of myself now, so that way I've been able to make better decisions and be able to live my life how I actually want it to live. But to get to that state right now, but when you're younger and shit, it takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of realization. And I feel like right now, where I am mentally, I feel freer than I was before. But fuck, bro, I hate that shit. What's the convo? Your 20s back then versus your 20s now. And I'm talking about my experience right now as a 20-year-old. But I mean, the video is almost over though. So we got like what? Literally a minute left. That minute is going to stretch for like another 10 from how much I just talked.
Nobody, even the people who you look up to and you're like, damn, like I guarantee you they struggle with this as well. Don't let the anxious thoughts and the stress take over, because that's actually when you start to let life pass by you. That's when you actually start to lose. I don't know, it sounds cringe, but like just stay calm and experience life as it unfolds you. The 20s is for finding out what you like to do. It's not just for grinding your whole life away. It's finding out what you love, and obviously that's easier said than done. What's a lot easier, at least for me, was finding out what I don't love and taking it from there. So there's all these things that you can't control.
I mean, it's a double-edged sword though, because a lot of people, they'll try to tell you like, oh, you need to live your life and da-da-da, and then you got the other side telling you, oh, you need to get your money up so that way you don't end up being poor the rest of your life. It's like people, a lot of it is people, they're trying to tell, at the end of the day, they're trying to tell you how to live your life, and it's with good faith, and it's with good advice. But at the end of the day, you can't necessarily control how people live their lives. And it's just one of those things where you can give your advice, but not one side is all to be correct. Both sides can be true at once. Obviously, you need money to be able to get through life, but you can't also if you're chasing money all your life, you're going to miss the parts of life that you can actually enjoy and shit. So you have to find a balance between the two. And I think I found the worst balance out of all of it, because I have no time. I have enough money, and then I'm in school. So I'm just waiting for it to all be over.
The housing market is ridiculous now. The economy, it's in shambles. The job market, we got AI on our asses. We got a pretty bleak dating market.
I was waiting.
You could go on and on and on.
No. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it.
Just complaining about these things.
It's too late in the video to even bring it up.
If you look at successful people back then, they could have complained about bombs. They could have complained about Russia. There's always going to be something to complain about.
I'm pretty sure they did.
Be something to fear. So all me and the bros need to do is two things, in my opinion: try and eradicate fear. And if you do those two things, it's just a matter of time. I said the same thing before we win. For more on that, if you guys want to support, check out the Patreon. I'll link it below. Huge shout out to the Chuddas in there. I love this community we're building. But yeah, that's it from me, guys. Talk soon. Peace.
WVid. But I mean, let's be honest right now. Life right now is pretty shitty, but you can definitely find enjoyment in it. If you find something that you like to do, and you don't let anybody else tell you otherwise why you shouldn't like it, or why you should only focus on like the bad stuff that's going on right now, even though there's a lot of bad things that are going on right now that should not be ignored, that does not excuse people for trying to make your life more depressing than what it should not be. Yes, it is important to be informed on the things going on around you that affect you and other people as well, but do not kill people's fun, man. There's a time and a place for everything, and sometimes people just need a break. I know, bro, thinking about the state of the world is literally the most depressing thing you can ever do, because it's like, it's either you do something about it or you let the emotions like overwhelm you and you just give up and just give into the system. Yeah. And that's what they want, but you should not let that happen. And honestly, at the end of the day, your life, the success of your life is not determined by others, but it's determined by you and your own perception on how your life should have been lived. If you think that you should have been a rich millionaire and you ended up being poor, and that because of that you became depressed, all right, man, that's you. if you didn't make any money at all, but you really value family, and you know, having that family made your life a million times better, that's great for you. You know, it's all about perception at the end of the day. And it's pretty obvious that my perception is pretty shitty. All right, I spent 3 hours yapping my ass off. Oh my god.